Welcome back everyone, it's Shaker here and it's time for my review of It. I managed to see this just this afternoon and I have to say I really liked it. You know the story, you've got the kids disappearing in this town of Derry, Maine, and you've got these friends who come together. Their fears are being exploited by this evil clown and they come together to kind of take on this clown and defeat him. So this adaptation of Stephen King's novel, this is its cinematic debut, because you've probably seen the TV movie. Some of you are probably old enough to remember, but I actually kind of remember it, but I don't know if I've seen it from start to finish. I remember kind of different scenes from parts 1 and 2. This is the kind of cinematic debut of it, and it has a lot of style. It's very creepy, it's very disturbing, but it has a lot of heart as well. It's a nice kind of complex coming-of-age tale that, you know, it prefers the kind of slow burn, creepy horror over the kind of modern day predictable jump scares. And that's what I was hoping it would deliver there, and it did. It didn't go down the jump scare route too much. Now, although the story is set in the 1980s in this version compared to the 1950s originally in the novel, now some people might find that problematic, but thankfully it doesn't end up being an 80s nostalgia pandering, you know, for the sake of it. I mean, there are kind of visual references to 80s movies like Gremlins and Nightmare on Elm Street, but rather than kind of copy them, it sticks to its own world, its own kind of nightmarish atmosphere, and it's kind of hard to recreate that 80s atmosphere, but it does it well. Now, the budget of this film is like $35 million, and the director, Andre Muschietti, director of photography, Chung Hoon Chung, they make this film look 2-3 times better than it should. It looks beautiful. I want to go and watch it again just for the kind of visual look of it. The film's got a really nice, effective score, musical score by Benjamin Wolfhard. He also did the score for A Cure for Wellness, another film that I was very happy with from earlier this year. And sometimes it's very elegant and beautiful, and other times it's unbearable when it's trying to ramp up the tension. It kind of felt a little bit trying too hard at times, but it was effective. So for myself, the film delivers on what the trailers promised, and that is scares. Like from the opening scene with poor little Georgie to the bathroom bloodbath where Beverly is kind of tied down by all these hairs coming out of the sink, and then all of a sudden the blood just pours out, very kind of reminiscent of Nightmare on Elm Street. And you know, to Pennywise crawling out of every space you can think of. So with so many kind of memorable moments, it feels like a director's cut. The film feels like the director, Andre Muschietti, he kept everything in. There's like very little edited out, and that may be one of the reasons for the pacing problems. I felt the movie kind of felt like, oh, they have to show you this, and they have to show you that, and they have to show you this scene. I thought some things could have been left out. But I'm not going to complain, because everything here is, whether you want it or not, everything looks great. The cast is perfect. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, the dancing clown. He goes from charming to twisted in seconds. And his scenes in particular, I never questioned when CGI was or wasn't being used. His presence kind of demanded your attention, so you kind of blocked that out, so that was very well done. I felt it was strange that his powers had kind of no limits, and it gave me the impression he could do anything at any moment. So that was a bit strange. The young cast that make up the Losers Club, they're fantastic. I thought their chemistry, you know, obviously needed to be spot on, you know, whether they're kind of arguing or joking around or trying to come together, and or sometimes when they're falling out, their chemistry had to work, and they kind of nailed it pretty much on the whole cast. Sophia Lillis, who plays Beverly Marsh, she's probably the standout. I thought she was great. My one complaint would be the character of Richie Tozier, played by Finn Wolfhard, who's in Stranger Things as well. Now his joking around is, you know, it's fine early on. I don't have a problem there, but as the film progressed, I was kind of hoping, I was begging for him to just shut up and stop ruining the kind of dramatic moments with like unnecessary quips and jokes. Now, I know people will say, well, that's the way he's in the novel, and that's the way he was written, but, you know, apparently there's I've not read the novel, right? Now, apparently there's some kind of sex scene in the novel that's been cut out of this film, so if they can cut out stuff like that, I'm sure they can cut out 1 or 2 jokes that didn't really need to be in there. However, I did feel for this group, because they're, you know, this dynamic group. They have to overcome their loss, their bullying, horror, division among them, so that they can overcome their fears and defeat the evil that's kind of, you know, gripping their town. So I really enjoyed it, and this new version of it. I can't wait for chapter 2. And it definitely has that, like I said earlier, it has that kind of 80s horror atmosphere, which is very kind of hard to pull off, and this does it very well. And it's the direction and the cinematography, I loved all that. The performances, I can go back and kind of, it's one of those fun films where you can go back and watch scenes individually. So guys, thanks for listening. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this movie. I don't mind you know, posting spoilers in the comments. So this has been a non-spoiler review, but in the comments, if you want to talk openly about the movie, go ahead and do that. Click that like button, share, and if you've not already, subscribe. So I'm Shaker, and I'll catch you next time.